I'm Jennifer Angel. This is my horoscope overview for a week of December the 1st, a quick snapshot of what's happening for each star sign as well. So right from the start of the week on the 1st, we've got Mercury in a square with Neptune. Okay, so a square traditionally is a confronting aspect, but these two together, not so much. It's very creative, very imaginative. The one thing you do have to be a little careful of is that it can make you a little tense, a bit, say, nervous, and you don't want anybody putting any doubts in your mind. So you might want to just hold off on sharing your brilliant ideas and concepts until you have them more in place. You don't want someone stealing your thunder. Also on the 1st, excuse me, also on the 1st, we've got Mars in a sextile to Saturn. Now, these are opposite energy. Mars wants to push forward and Saturn wants to step back, okay, and be more cautious. If you can use them together, they're very complementary because the cautiousness of the Saturn energy just helps you to think through what it is you want to do, what you want to achieve, what's the outcome, and then once you get that organized, Mars then gives you the push and the motivation to put it into practice. So it can be a little bit of a conflict, but if you can work it together like that, then it's a very, very useful. I like it. I like it a lot, but you got to know how to work with it. On the 4th, then we've got the Sun is in a trine with Uranus. So this is very inspiring, like sudden inspiration, because let's not forget that Uranus is a sign of creativity and originality. But what happens under Uranus is going to be quite sudden. You're not going to have a lot of time to think about it, okay? And you want to like have that pen and paper ready for you in front of you and just jot down the notes. Or of course, you know, all the earth signs will have the pen and paper. Everybody else will be putting it on their electronic devices. So however that works best for you. Then also on the same day, the 4th, we've got Venus in a trine with Jupiter. I love this. This is one of my most favorite aspects in all time because it's just like Venus is the planet of love and money. There's two things I always say that make the world go around. One, of course, is love, and the other in the world that we're in, of course, is money. So, and they both a very strong energy, and it's two things that we're always wanting to try and get in our life, and their survival. You certainly need love. So this is a very advantageous, beneficial, fortunate aspect between these two because Jupiter is the planet of abundance and expansion and growth and knowledge. So whatever you do with the Jupiter-Venus, I always think that you want to put it out under a really strong, positive vibration. Now, sometimes I will say to you, you want to delve into that feeling, get right in there, feel it, bring it up, good, bad, or indifferent, and just feel it and release it and get rid of it. With the Venus and Jupiter connection, it's the opposite. I want you just to think about positive, what you want in your life, put it out there on that positive, that higher vibration, so it goes out on that brighter sunbeam. Now, there's two ways to think about this. It's like, let's talk about money, for instance. If you want to get out of debt and you're saying, oh, I want to get out of debt, you're still putting out that vibration of the debt. If you want to attract abundance in your life and live a better lifestyle or whatever that means to you, then it's really the same thing, but it goes out on a higher frequency. So with this connection, you want to put it out on a higher frequency. So that's what comes back to you, okay? And right at the end of the week on the 5th, we've got Mercury, communication planet, in a trine with Uranus. So once again, this is inspired thought. So what a great week this is. Let's see what's happening for all the signs. All right, so first of all, I was going to say Mars, ruled by Mars, Aries. You, of course, have Uranus in your sign, and we've got these two aspects with Uranus this week, and one's with the Sun and one's with Mercury, and they're both in your solar ninth house. Now, this is great because the ninth house, you can really do some forward thinking, get your dreams, hopes, and wishes down, and put your thoughts, goals out there for what you want to achieve in life. And you can really get some clarity about that this week and put that into practice. We've got Mars still sitting in yours. Going to move out of your 10th house, your career zone is still there for the first half of the week. So you're going to be busy as anything. Productivity is the key for you to get done everything that you need to get done this week, okay? Which means monitoring your calls, monitoring everything that comes in. Not everybody that crosses your path or pings on your email or your phone needs to have a reply straight away, or even at all, okay? All right, so let's move on and have a look at Taurus. So Taurus, we've got right opposite you still for another month. For this month, Saturn is sitting there in your relationship area. This is the planet of permanency, okay? So it's nice to have that in your solar 7th house. Can cause some limitations, but if you get through those limitations, then it's a forever love. Now we've got a sextile with Mars, and Mars is there in your 9th house. So all about your dreams, those wishes. You want to sort of learn, this is a good time to sort of grasp some issues within yourself, maybe some old outdated beliefs, and look at them and release them. Feel them, release them, and get rid of them. So this is a time of self-discovery for you, which is also going to help with your relationships, okay? All relationships. So the 7th house, I like to think, is more about intimate relationships. Okay, let's have a look what else is happening. On the 5th of this week, Mars is going to move into your solar 10th house, all to do with business. So you can expect to be busy, 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 okay? Get yourself organized. That's the way you're going to keep your productivity up. But don't neglect yourself either, okay? So that's what Mars can do. It pushes you to do more, more, and more. And the person that usually misses out is you, all right? So you want to this week put some time aside for you. Now, Gemini, you've got your full moon, your annual full moon in your sign towards the end of this week on the 6th. So this can really give you clarity of what you don't want in your life. The full moon really helps you to trigger and to get like, this is what I don't want. I've had enough of this. Let's get rid of it. And remember, if you want to change your life, you've got to change what you do, your attitude, your outlook, okay? You can't do the same thing all the time and expect a different result, okay? So keep that in mind. You've got a real opportunity to do that now, particularly around love and relationships, because you've got Venus sitting there in your opposite sign, in the 7th house, as well as Mercury, your communication planet, your ruler, and the Sun. So we just had a new start in that area for you on the 22nd of last month. So this is a good time to really make some major changes in your life for the better, okay? But you're in control of that. Now, let's have a look at what else is happening. On a monetary front or on official matters, someone could be, reaching out to give you a helping hand, okay? But remember, rarely is there a free lunch, okay? So if somebody reaches out to give you a helping hand, just know that sometime in the future, there's going to be a favor there, which hopefully you'll get an opportunity to pay back, okay? Now, let's move on and have a look at Cancer. So Cancer, you've got Pluto, of course, still in your solar 7th house, but the difference is Mars has been in there. Now Mars is going to move out at the middle of this week or towards the end of this week on the 5th. But so it's there for pretty well the week still. When Mars and Pluto are together, it's pretty dynamic. And it gives you an opportunity to really get your thoughts, feelings, and, find out what you're passionate about. Now, this is your area of relationships. So Pluto is a planet of transformation. So if some things are coming up for you, maybe you're seeing a repeat pattern in your life, you want to really have a look at that and deal with it, okay? And Mars gives you the opportunity to do that. If everything's all hunky-dory in your life, then let's not forget, Mars is the planet of passion. So, you know, you could meet somebody over this time that's going to, you know, just like difficult, impossible to ignore. They're going to cross your path. Now, when we have a look at business and work, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury, communication planet, all sitting there in your 6th house. Couple of things here to mention. I may have mentioned them last week as well. This is a great time for connections with business. It's also a great time for you to get organized with your personal image. Are you portraying the image that you want? Does it need a little bit of an overhaul? Does it need a total overhaul? Okay, with Venus there in the 6th house, it's a great time to get organized with your well-being and routine, and you know, find out what works for you and get that set into your day-to-day routine. All right, so Leo, Mars is going to move into your solar 7th house at the end of this week, Leo. So let's not forget, Mars is the planet of passion. So, and it gives some urgency on relationships, particularly as Venus is sitting in your 5th house. This is where love affairs can start, or, you know, you can focus on your relationships just that little bit more. So we've got like Venus and Mars both in areas of love, romance, intimacy. If you've got somebody in your life, you want to sort of, and you know, that's working for you, this is the time to spend more time on that relationship. If you're looking for love, certainly that can happen now too. On a business level, you're likely to be still run off your feet this week. There are likely to be some things that are happening at the office in your business that you need to change as well. With Mars and Pluto together, let's not forget that Mars is like the trigger. And if there's something happening around in your business, or somebody is, you know, just not working out, then this is the time to put some action to that. You know, and that's okay. I mean, people come into our lives for different reasons. Sometimes they stay, sometimes they leave. So it's all a part of life. Okay, you have to do what's right for you, Leo. All right, Virgo. So at the end of this week on the 5th, Virgo, we're going to have Mars move into your solar 6th house. This is all to do with your work. A couple of things here. It's also to do with your health and well-being. So first of all, this week before, you know, leading up to this is happening on the 5th. So you want to get yourself organized. Okay, now don't get caught or stuck on spending too much time on any one thing or any one area of your life. You want to just, you know, don't get bogged down. So you want to get organized, clear anything that needs to be done, work a few extra hours to do it if you need be, because once Mars moves in here, you're going to be like busier than busy, and all you'll have time to work on is your high priorities. Okay, so let's just get all the rubbish out now and deal with that. Now, what Mars can also do, and it tempts you to, like, it's a very motivating force. I love it, but it tempts you to really do more than what is physically, you know, possible. So who misses out? You. So what you don't want to do, Virgo, is you don't want to let your health and well-being drop to the bottom of the list. All right, so you want to look after yourself. That's very, very important. A lot of activity going on in your family zone as well, and so you want to look at what's happening there. And right at the start of the week on the 1st, we have a square between Mercury, your ruling planet, in your 4th house, your area of family, and Neptune right opposite with relationships. So if you need to have a heart-to-heart with someone, go ahead and do it, okay? But make sure, firstly, you have their full attention, and secondly, come from a place of love with it, okay? So some things are just not worth getting upset about. You want to, like, focus on the main issues, not every sort of little, you know, petty thing along the way. Okay, so Libra. Right, so we've still got the Mars and Pluto sitting there in your family zone, Libra. So if you've had some family things around the home or relationships, particularly to do maybe with siblings over, recently, because there's a lot of energy, planets, activity there in the around siblings as well. That's still going on. Okay, now you've got an opportunity here. Mars is going to move out of this area later this week, so you've got a real opportunity here to deal with something, stand up and have your say and be heard. Okay, if you let it go, there's no point bitching about it later. Okay, you want to sort of grasp that opportunity, and it can come together probably better and more amicably than you think. So it's almost like take that first step, then the next step, then the next step. Just make the decision to do that, and it'll come together for you. Now, if we have a look at what's happening with work, we've got communication planet Mercury in a square with Neptune, so very imaginative. So your creativity, even though it's a square which is traditionally confronting with these two, not so much. So it's a very, very imaginative, creative placement this. So you can sort of be the star of the moment coming up with the next best thing with the solution to the biggest problem, okay? There's quite a lot of activity also to do with Uranus this week, or two sets of main aspects, and Uranus sitting in right opposite you in your relationship area. So some sudden developments can come together there. So as always, life is full of supportive and confronting and challenging aspects. They're all good, okay? They all serve a purpose. So, just work through it and you'll come out the other end as it should, okay? All right, so Scorpio. Right in your sign, still Scorpio, for the rest of this month, you've got Saturn there. So, and on the 2nd, we have a sextile between Mars and Saturn. Now, Mars is going to make a move this week at the end of the week, but before that, this sextile, it's still in your solar 3rd house. So if you've got some things going on with siblings, for instance, then you may think that, maybe we'll just let that go and it'll sort itself out. Well, I've got news for you. Mars is going to move into your family zone at the end of the week, so it's not really going to sort itself out unless you stand up and, take control of it. So you have an opportunity now to really work something out there and come to a conclusion, closure on something. So don't let that opportunity go by. This is also very, very creative area, this area as well too. So with work-wise, then it's quite possible, particularly as we've got a couple of aspects with Uranus, highly creative energy, very sudden, very inspirational. So, apart from things to deal with along the family and with siblings, then it's a very, very productive, creative, inspirational time with business this week. So it's a little bit of a juggling act with things that are going on. We've also got a lot of activity in your solar 2nd house. So this is to do with money and possessions. You want to make sure you feel worthy of what you want to attract with this placement. So there's a lot of things happening in a lot of different areas. So it's like you can't let the ball drop in any one of them, Scorpio. So to be prepared to just keep your schedule flexible, try to keep some type of routine going, because you want to be productive as well, but you want to keep a little bit of flexibility so you can bounce the balls and keep everything sort of going, okay? It's certainly an interesting time. There's lots of movement in your chart right now. Okay, so Sagittarius. So the full moon is right opposite to you at the end of this week, Sagittarius. So this area of your chart is all to do with relationships. You've got Venus in your sign. As we know, Venus is the love goddess, so it's about love and money with the Venus. So you've got an opportunity to either change your relationship, make some alterations, or make up your mind what way you want to go with something, okay? So either way, with that, relationships are under the spotlight. You're not going to be able to push them down under the radar. And certainly a personal relationship, if you're looking for love, get yourself out there. This is the time you can do that. Make sure you don't let the past interfere with the future, though, okay? So some things are you just got to let them go, and let go of all the feelings and everything that you think and feel about it. Otherwise, you know what? If you don't, you're just going to attract the same into your life again until you come to terms with it, all right? Now, with the Venus in your sign, let's not forget that, you're like one of the most freedom-loving signs of the zodiac. Venus wants you to sort of connect with people, and you're wanting to have some freedom. So if you want a relationship, there's going to have to be a compromise somewhere along the way, okay? So you have to sort out where that line of compromise is, because the likelihood of you getting it all your own way, Sagittarius, is probably pretty slim. And why would you want it anyway? I mean, you learn from relationships and from being with people. All right, so in your solar second house, to do with money and possessions, we've still got Mars there for this week. So you still want to be a little bit careful, wary about risky business. Certainly take a risk, but you want to make sure it's a calculated risk. Don't go into anything like with a foolhardy attitude. She'll be right, mate, as we would say in Aussie land. So know what you're going into. It would be foolish to do business any other way. Changes certainly around relationships. There's opportunities to build scenarios on a different level. Like, just because society says this is the way it's always been done doesn't mean to say that's the way that it has to be done, okay? As long as you stay within the law, you can make your own rules. So just keep that in mind. All right, so Capricorn. So with Capricorn, you've still got Mars in your sign for this week. Going to move out at the end of this week on the 5th. Mars and Pluto right there in your sign. If some of you have been going through a little bit of a confronting time, dealing with how you feel about things, or psychological emotions coming up, things are digging up from the past, then right on cue. And that can still be happening now. Try to deal with it. This is one of the times I say to you is look at it, bring it up, deal with it, accept it, and then push it out, release it, okay? Because right at the end of the week on the 5th, when Mars moves into your solar second house, this is more to do about money, possessions, more to do about how worthy you feel in your life of having what you want. And let's face it, all us Capricorns, we want to achieve, we want to put back into the world and make a difference in the world through our career, and we want to live a good life. Why shouldn't we? So what the magic ingredient is for all that is you feel worthy of attracting that into your life, and Mars at the end of the week is going to help you do that and uncover some of those feelings. Now also it sets up an urgency on finances and around money. Be careful of looking at risky business, okay? So Mars can tempt you to go in and say, yes, before you've done all the homework. So before you agree or disagree to anything, make sure you look into it further, and you feel good on a logical level, you see it in black and white, and also an intuitive level. Things coming up around family still, or your home, your domestic scene. So there could be some changes coming up around there, or things that you might have already had in process, and they can come to closure over this time as well. Let's have a look where Venus is sitting right there behind you, and Venus is in that advantageous aspect with Jupiter, and this can mean for you that a financial opportunity can come through and be presented by someone. So once again, make sure you're looked after. Don't be too hasty. It's likely to be a very, very good opportunity, but you want to be business-like with it. Don't get so, so excited that you forget to do the business. Not that you would. Okay. All right. Let's moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, we've got the full moon in your solar 5th house. This is going to focus your attention on, excuse me, on relationships. And also we've got, that's on the 6th, later on the week. And just before that, on the 4th, we have that fabulous trine between Venus and Jupiter. So Venus being the planet of love and money, of course, and Jupiter being the planet of abundance and expansion. And Venus is sitting in your 11th house. So this can be very much to do with friends. Of course, Jupiter is in your area of relationships, and so is the full moon. Now, there's also a monetary thing going on here as well. So, excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't hold that in. I was trying to. Okay, apologies for that. As you know, I'm right on the end of this 26-minute video. So, okay, so where were we? So this is a monetary thing coming in here too, which is very, very advantageous. So it's got like a positive vibe about it. So something can come through, like an opportunity through a friend or a colleague, that's going to just has the potential to really boost your bank account. Okay, so this is a nice aspect that's happening here. Now, in your 3rd house with your ruling planet Uranus sitting there, some it's an area of siblings. If you've got some things going on with the siblings, then you're going to want to give that your attention. There could be some sudden changes there, not necessarily bad, there could be actually for the better, but I'm just saying keep your schedule a little bit flexible. There's a lot of things going on this week where there could be some surprises. As I say, not necessarily bad surprises, but surprises. And you want to sort of try to clear your desk or try to clear your plate of busyness at the start of the week. So you've got a little time to just put some time aside for you so you can think things through, okay? Because that's what needs to be done now, particularly as Mars moves into your sign on the 5th. You're going to be pretty busy, and you need to build in that time for yourself, okay, along the way. All right, let's moving on. So Pisces, let's have a look at what's happening there. So first of all, let's look at that right at the start of the week. We've got Neptune in your sign and a square with Mercury. So this is Mercury sitting in your solar 10th house, all to do with business. So Neptune and Mercury coming together. A square, yes, is traditionally confronting, not so much with these two. You want to try to keep the, sort of worrying down a little bit, because it can sort of put you, what's going to happen, and put you into that state of being a little bit sort of tense or nervous or anxious, probably a better word, of what's going to happen next. Okay, let go of that. This is a very imaginative, creative aspect in around your business. Later in the week on the 4th, we've got Venus in that abundant connection with Jupiter, and Jupiter is sitting in another area that's to do with your work, and Venus is right in your solar 10th house of work too. So things can come through for you now, Pisces. If you've been waiting on something really fabulous to happen, then don't give up hope. It can all come together, or at least you can this week, or at least you can start to see that things are moving in the right direction. So really, my best advice for you is try to let go of that anxious feeling, because what that can do is it just can tie that energy up in knots, and you want to like get that energy free, be open to what comes next, and just operate from that open heart level, so you can attract what you want in life. Okay. Now, there's, all this has the possibility of good monetary outcomes as well. So it's, have faith. Okay, keep the faith. Now, the full moon will just finish on the full moon, which is in your solar 4th house. So this is all to do with your home, your family. So there's some movement around there as well. If you've been waiting for some things to unlock or happen around there, then that can happen this week as well. So good luck to you. I really hope that something absolutely fabulous happens for you, Pisces. And if it does, please send a little note out to me and let me know. All right, love and luck to you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.